Well, at 8 p.m. this Monday and Tuesday night, Sky News Australia will air the two-part documentary Liberals in Power. It is an in-depth investigation into the inner workings of the Liberal Party during Turnbull, Morrison, Abbott. I liked Abbott, but the other two, forget it. Anyway, its host, Chris Kenny, joins us now. Chris, always great to see you. Now, you've been working very hard on this doco. It screens Monday and Tuesday night. Looking forward to seeing it. What's the key, I guess, the key thing that surprised you when you were talking to all the various players that came out?
Great to talk to you, Rowan, James and Rita. Yeah, it's been a lot of work. I've been interviewing so many people over so many months, getting this documentary together with a couple of great producers in Mick and Richard while I've been doing my other show. And as you know, we've all seen this unfold. All of you guys have talked to the key players all the way along through that tumultuous decade. And still, though, even when you're sitting down face-to-face in lengthy interviews with the key players, what overwhelms me is just how personal and how organic these things become, how no one really has a clear, precise idea of how they're going to bring down a leader or reform the party or change direction. These things happen very organically, and there's all sorts of personal ambitions and ideological motives and personal relationships that come into it. But this piece really allows all the key players to tell the story. It's not me sort of making judgments about what unfolded. It's us seeing what unfolded and seeing what the lessons are to get the Liberals back into power again. And the thing that overwhelms me, of course, and, you know, many of us are old enough to remember it, of course, but after that Rudd-Gillard-Rudd chaos, the shambolic period of Labor government, when Tony Abbott won that thumping victory in 2013, he said, "We're a government that means what it says and says what it means." You thought the whole dynamic had been changed. We were going to get grown-up government. They were going to be stable and get on with business. And, of course, that didn't happen. Tony Abbott was torn down by Malcolm Turnbull. And to my mind, that is the one act. That is the drama that changed everything. What should have been a strong period of coalition government was destroyed by Malcolm Turnbull taking down Tony Abbott.
And I would have thought, Chris, one of the key lessons was don't trust bedwetters. And I think John Howard says pretty much the same thing in your show. Have a listen.
There are those in the Liberal Party who say, really, to win back the Teal seats, you've got to implement the Teal agenda on climate change and other issues.
Well, you don't win anything back by embracing the other person's policy. The last thing the Liberal Party should try and do is be Labor light.
Absolutely. Bedwetters. James.
And Chris, I mean, you know, one of the things that I expect we're going to see a lot of is talk about the different factions in that moderate faction. How much of a toxic influence did that moderate faction, being driven by Malcolm Turnbull, but with other players like Christopher Pyne, you know, who could not accept Conservatives being in power, how damaging has that been to the coalition over that leadership period?
Well, in my view is that they've got to wear the bulk of the blame here, that it was that moderate faction that saw Malcolm Turnbull as their sort of as their leader who was going to change not only the dynamic of the party but the dynamic of the country. They were deluded in that.